Are there any good news from YouTube this time? Or maybe bad news? The copyright protection works differently now, and if you try to cheat YouTube, your account will be immediately blocked. Your channel can quickly lose monetization, and if YouTube considers that your content is poor quality, you can forget about monetization. Hi, my name is Arthur, this is the Movavi vlog, and let's start with the most important breaking news lately. You already know everything about it, but nevertheless, I want to give my comments on this. The dislike count, or its absence. Or rather, its partial absence. Briefly, what happened? The dislike button is staying, but the dislike counter will now be private to only a creator of a video. This does not affect the algorithm in any way, as the counter affected the algorithm before, as just they affect now. In this sense, nothing has changed. Specifically for creators in the YouTube studio, almost nothing has changed either. If we want, we still can find the amount of dislikes. Many of you, including me, have a common question. How can I objectively assess now whether this video is worth watching or not? Because if it is frankly bad, and it is considered bad in the community, there are a lot of dislikes, well, I'd rather not waste my time. YouTube has its own position and the answer to this question. Earlier in 2021, some group of researchers in YouTube came to the conclusion that there are certain viewers who use the dislike button as some kind of a game to reel up. They don't like it for a real reason. It's usually because they don't like the creator himself or his ideas. Dislikes increase and they just raise the score meter. And YouTube decided to conduct an experiment that took place like earlier in 2021, where they also removed the number of dislikes under the video and found out that yes, indeed, the number of dislikes began to decrease and their opinion was confirmed. Regarding the question of whether the number of dislikes affects the viewer's decision to watch this video or not, they said that during the experiment they found out that it does not. Well, maybe quite a bit, but in general, viewership has not changed much. Don't worry. In other words, the experiment showed that it doesn't matter if a video has a lot of dislikes or not, they still watched anyway. Next common question, if creators can still see the dislike count on the backend, how's it any different? YouTube is about protecting all creators and making sure they do not upset and have a chance to get a fair estimate of their content. One of the main points of YouTube is to give every person, every creator an opportunity to express their opinion and create the content they want to. Allegedly, by removing the dislike counter under the video, YouTube helps the whole community, both viewers and creators. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. And on one hand, you can agree with this position of YouTube. For example, if the creator is responsible, creates a good content, tries his best, pleases the viewers watch his videos and they have this connection, in this case, there are probably really more pros than cons. At least it won't get worse. But what worries me is the number of scam projects that may appear. If a viewer clicks on such a video from recommendations, all he notices is the like count. We don't see dislikes, we scroll down the comments, there are only positive comments because the negative ones have been cleaned, of course, and in this case some viewers may fall into a lame trap from these creators. But YouTube probably has its own tools to control such creators because YouTube doesn't need them either, just like you. But there is still something to think about, so please leave your opinion about this innovation, how it will affect you as a creator, how it will affect your viewers, and let us know in the comments. Making quality YouTube videos doesn't require a lot of time for learning and a lot of money for hardware and powerful programs. With Movavi Video Suite 2022 and the handy effects set, you can edit videos that are just as good as the content produced by top creators, easily in no time. Movavi Video Suite is an intuitive platform that combines video editing, screen recording, and file converting tools with a convenient preset system in one place. And the coolest thing about Video Suite is its accessibility. It doesn't require the latest top-of-the-line computer to run smoothly. The subscription format allows you to get free programs, value for the price of one app. And you also get all updates and new features that will be released over the next 12 months. And the handy set contains a lot of universal effects that will look great in videos on any social media platform. You'll find there not only a bunch of stylish transitions, but also a collection of titles and stickers to highlight important parts of your video in just a few clicks. Exclusively for everyone who's watching this video, we're offering a 20% discount on the 1-year subscription to Movavi Video Suite 2022 and the Handy Effects set. Don't miss your chance and click the link to our special offer page. Next up is Channel Guidelines. It's a new experiment that YouTube is currently conducting among some creators, and right now it is expanding even more. What's the point? If you're a part of this experiment, you can log into Studio, go to Settings, then click on Community, and the third tab will appear, which is called Channel Guidelines. There you can make a headline and define up to 3 conditions that you want your future comments to comply with, meaning that in theory it will help you create the atmosphere you need in the comments on your channel. What do you want your viewers to talk about or not? Before making a comment, user must read and agree with your specific guidelines, and of course, these guidelines should not violate the guidelines of the YouTube community itself. And also, this feature will not cause comments to be hidden or removed. It is more of a warning. If they do not comply, well, you may block them or something else. During the experiment, this feature will be available only to users who use Android or iOS mobile devices, and since this is an experiment, this function may be available for a short period of time. Therefore, for the sake of interest, you can check it out, go to the settings and see if you're a part of the experiment. The next arrival is the addition to copyright protection. If you go to the copyright section in the YouTube Studio and select Removal Request in the top tab, you can create a new removal request. There will be basic removal options, and what's new about this form is this checkbox, which is called Prevent Copies, which means if you check this box, YouTube won't allow anybody to upload the same video on the platform. The system determines this matched content and the upload will be terminated. For example, you have managed to delete some video that is similar to yours. By checking this box, you will prevent the re-uploads of similar videos to the one you have already deleted. If someone tries to upload it again, it will automatically be rejected. In this case, no strikes to this creator, the video just won't be uploaded to the channel. After that, in the same section Removal Requests, you will see the list of copies which have been prevented. You can click and see what these copies are. Also, if you change your mind about using this function, then you can uncheck this box. And YouTube is very careful to this request because, for example, if you do not have the worldwide exclusive rights, YouTube will either disable this feature for you or completely terminate your account. This feature was rolled out not so long ago, then they began to expand it to even more channels, and now since October it is available to everyone. So keep in mind this pretty useful feature as an additional protection of your content. Mobile YouTube Studio continues to expand. They've added 2 pretty useful features. The first feature is comment search filters. These filters were already available on the desktop version, but now if you go to the comments section on your phone, click on filters, you can now select the response status, you can search for specific keywords, does the comment contain questions, public subscribers, and also the subscriber count of your subscriber. A very useful feature to quickly respond to the most important comments from your phone. And the second feature is in the analytics. If you go under Audience tab, you will see when your viewers are on YouTube. The same section as on the desktop has now appeared in the mobile version. But keep in mind that this indicator is important to consider only in the short term. In the long-term video performance, it is not so important. This is useful if you are posting some big video or premiere at the moment, or for example, you are live streaming and you need to know when to engage your audience. The next launch is auto chapters. In one of the previous videos, we showed you that now in search, when you split your video into episodes, a graph appears at the bottom where a person, while still in search, can select a specific section of the video and go straight to it. That is, videos are ranked better this way, and this increases the probability of clicking on your videos. YouTube is also interested. Accordingly, before this, only creator-defined chapters were used in this way. Auto chapters now will only appear if creator-defined chapters are unavailable. A checkbox appears in the video settings, allow automatic chapters. You can turn it on or off. If you enable it, YouTube will automatically create these chapters to improve the ranking in search. Automatic chapters can be opted out both at the video level or at the channel level in the settings. Only time will show whether it's useful or not, but for now, just be aware. Since November, there has been added new principles in relation to content for kids. Firstly, I'll tell you what the principles are and then how it will affect everyone else. That is, content not for kids and content partly for kids. In November, YouTube began to disable channel monetization. That means channels that do not comply with principles of high-quality family and child content will be disconnected from the YouTube Partner Program, or they will have limited monetization on some videos, which content is considered unacceptable. Heavily commercial or promotional, encouraging negative behaviors or attitudes, deceptively educational, hindering comprehension, sensational or misleading, and strange use of children's characters. What can we conclude? Yes, the fact that it has become even harder for these channels for kids, they will receive even less monetization, but on the other hand, it has become better for those who do not make content for kids, because the money that went to this content is being removed from them, and more money will be distributed among those who make content not for kids. This is good news for them. But what if you make content that is partly for kids? Sometimes there are children in your videos, you use maybe children's toys, in general you make content that may be potentially interesting to kids. In this case, you need to be extremely careful, because at some point YouTube may consider that this particular video is more for kids. It pokes it to the kids segment, and then let's say the second video you shoot something like that, and then at some point the whole channel sticks under the kids segment. If you suddenly fall under the kids segment, then you'll meet all these strict rules and prepare for the fact that you may say goodbye to monetization. What should you do in this case? If you definitely do not have content for kids, you are sure of it, 95% of the topics are quite adult, but sometimes something about children pops up, some topics are sometimes discussed just casually, then I think it's not worth worrying about it, everything will be fine. If you're making content that is partly for kids, you should be extremely careful here. I advise you to clearly study the rules, what YouTube defines as content for kids, and just avoid doing this. But as I said, for everyone else who definitely shoots content not for kids, this is good news, because more money will now be shared. And these two videos will help you understand YouTube even more. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.